determine that delegate list, regardless of what that committee came up with. And my question was, can we amend the list? And you said that would violate the state party rules. And I appealed your ruling on that because I don't believe that's the case. And this body has the right to determine whether or not they can amend that list. This body determines every bit of business before this body. I don't care what any committee says, because those are the rules. We get to determine. So I'm appealing your ruling that says that this body does not have the right to amend that list. Is that?
Before you sit down, Mr. Ocker.
Ocker, thank you.
Ocker. If we approve the list as presented, what happens to the list?
Then that becomes the list of delegates that we send to the state.
If we fail the list, what happens to the list?
Voting for an amendment does not necessarily fail the list.
I asked you a question, what happens to the list if the body does not approve?
Then we have to construct a new list.
Correct. We're doing the same thing that you're requesting.
I don't know how we are.
You just vote no on the list.
Yeah, but we have the right to amend the list without voting the entire list down.
Add Siri on.
You're giving me a false dichotomy here. You can't say you've got to force me to do this. I can amend the list.
Yeah. And I'm saying that the list has been presented by the committee and we're voting on the list. If you don't like the list, then you vote against it. It gets the same result as your appeal.
No, it doesn't, sir, because my amendment, there may be people who are inclined to agree with my amendment, but don't wish to vote the entire list in. That's the reason we're allowed amendments in the middle of a motion. Because we can change it without completely changing the entire motion. That's the whole purpose of an amendment. You can't say that my amendment's non-germane because I have the opportunity to vote the entire thing down later. That's like saying appropriations amendments can't happen in appropriations process because you get the opportunity to vote down the budget. It's not how it works, sir. I'm sorry. Parliamentary procedure does not work that way.
Okay, thank you. You wish to be recognized, sir?
Yes, please, Mr. Chairman.
And the reason for your recognition?
To give you a specific example, which may
No,
help
sir, it's
clarify.
not acceptable.
Okay. Would it be appropriate to inform the convention here that in 2014, after the list of delegates was read, I was sitting right there. My
Yes,
name was
sir.
on the list of delegates.
You're
I
out
made
of
a
order.
motion to amend, and it was accepted, and it was changed, and you agreed with me.
We will entertain you, but we're out of order. Okay? Now, we do have a parliamentary procedure that we will abide by. The request is to approve the list as presented by the committee. If you do not agree with the list, then you vote no. The same result would be as if you voted down my appeal, my denial of the appeal. So the vote is to approve. Now let's back it up and make it more specific. We're talking about Congressional District 25 delegate list only. The request was to amend the list, and I denied the request. It has been appealed. Do you approve on the overruling of the appeal, or do you approve of the appeal?
The original question that Matt brought up was to limit the list to only people who were here. So I just, not what he's been saying the last 20 minutes he was up here was not what he originally said. He was originally trying to limit the list only to people in attendance at the convention, which is not in accordance with the RPT rules that say that you can allow people who are not here to be sent as delegates to the RPT convention. I just want to make that point. I don't know if how that works and what you're saying, Steve, but it appears to me that somewhere we got way off track from what he originally started out with.